Have you ever wondered why you laugh so hard at silly jokes, or why you get super excited about drawing dragons, collecting shiny rocks, or memorizing every fun fact about space until your brain feels like a tiny galaxy made of swirling stars and jelly beans? Or maybe you've even noticed that some days you feel brave enough to climb the tallest tree in the park like a daring explorer searching for hidden treasure. And other days you feel more like a cozy cookie, wanting nothing more than to curl up under a blanket and watch the world from the safety of your warm little cocoon. These differences, quirks, habits, and funny little sparks inside you are all part of something called your personality, which is just a fancy word for how you usually act, think, and feel, kind of like your own personal flavor, as if you were a magical ice cream that no one else in the entire universe could ever scoop the same way. Some philosophers and scientists think your personality comes from your genes, tiny little instructions inside your body that you get from your parents, like invisible recipe cards whispering, "Here's a pinch of curiosity, a sprinkle of silliness, and maybe a big scoop of stubbornness that makes you argue with your alarm clock every morning." But even though genes helped shape you, they definitely don't decide everything, because if they did, you and your siblings might act like identical penguins waddling around in perfect unison, and we all know real life is way messier, louder, and much more entertaining than that. Other thinkers believe that your personality grows from your experiences, every hug, every adventure, every mistake, every victory, every time you laughed so hard you accidentally snorted, and even every moment you felt nervous before raising your hand in class, but did it anyway because something brave inside you whispered, "Go for it, kiddo." That means your personality is like a giant scrapbook inside your mind, bursting with colorful pages filled with triumphs, embarrassing moments, weird drawings, broken crayons, best friends, and life lessons that are glued in with imagination, hope, and maybe a little bit of peanut butter if things got messy. Some people also say the way you were raised matters to your family, your home, your culture, the rules, the traditions, the bedtime stories, the celebrations, the silly dances in the kitchen, and the big comforting hugs when the world feels a little too heavy, all working together to help build the way you see yourself and everyone around you. And then there are those who think your personality is shaped by the world you explore, your school, your friends, your teachers, the games you play, the shows you watch, the music you dance to in your socks, and the thousands of tiny moments you don't even notice but still collect like invisible treasures in your heart. If that isn't magical enough, some philosophers say your personality is also shaped by the choices you make, like choosing kindness even when you're grumpy, choosing honesty when lying would be easier, choosing to try something new even when your legs feel wobbly, and choosing to be silly because the world desperately needs more silliness floating around like happy bubbles. All of this means your personality isn't a fixed statue carved out of stone. It's more like a colorful garden that keeps growing and changing with every new thought, feeling, and adventure, with some flowers blooming early, some sprouting late, and some popping up unexpectedly like, "Surprise, I'm here now, deal with it." Your personality also has parts that shine brightly, like your creativity, your courage, your sense of humor, or your kindness, and parts that might feel shadowy sometimes, like your impatience, your worries, or the moments you get annoyed at your homework for simply existing. But both the bright parts and the tricky parts belong to you and help make you wonderfully, uniquely human. Some scientists even say your personality is shaped by the way your brain grows and changes, with millions of tiny neurons zapping messages back and forth like a giant lightning festival inside your head whenever you learn something new, make a tough decision, or get excited about something you love. Other thinkers describe personality as a big stew simmering slowly in a magical cauldron, filled with bits of your past, pieces of your future, your favorite hobbies, your loudest laughter, your quietest secrets, and all the dreams you haven't even dreamed yet, all swirling together into a flavor that is unmistakably, undeniably you. And some philosophers, especially the ones who stare at the stars for too long and start asking really dramatic questions, believe that your personality is partly something you invent, a character you get to shape, strengthen, redesign, and rewrite as you grow up, like the hero of your own story who gets cooler, kinder, braver, and weirder with every chapter. So the big question, where does my personality come from? Doesn't have just one answer, it's more like a giant buffet of answers, and you get to pick a little from each tray, a dash of genetics, a spoonful of experiences, a few scoops of family and culture, a sprinkle of choices, and a huge, glowing mountain of imagination and curiosity that belongs only to you. Next time you catch yourself doing something that feels perfectly like you, whether it's laughing too loud, thinking too deeply, dreaming too big, or being too wonderfully weird, take a moment to smile and whisper, "Wow, my personality is awesome," because it is, and it's still growing. And it's only going to get cooler, brighter, funnier, kinder, and more surprising as you discover who you are, who you can be, and all the magical possibilities waiting inside the story of you.